Scorpio, the energies that came out in your pre-shuffle were a dry desert card, dry desert oracle card, the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Initially, what struck me when I pulled these cards was the contrast between the water and the desert in these cards. I did an intuitive writing, and what message was brought to me in this writing, just some key pieces, I'm not going to read the whole thing aloud, is asking if you're pulling from a dry well. Right? That really came out in this reading. Also just looking at whether you're kind of killing yourself almost for something that may be a mirage. That really came out too. What the guidance is finding true connection. True connection was a key word here. Pulling from an empty well was a key phrase here. And also go elsewhere was a key phrase here in terms of kind of getting out of your current circumstance, even if only for an hour, just like going elsewhere to spend time with yourself or others, people that truly love you, that you have a true connection with, a connection that you're not fighting for. That came through very, very clearly. So I won't read this whole thing aloud to you, but that's just giving me context as we go into the full reading. What I will do is I will post this at the end of the video, and you can pause it and read the whole thing for yourself if you like. Okay, let's get into the tarot reading. Knight of Wands. Oof, lots of cards, too many. Try that again. Knight of Wands, followed by, okay, this one wanted to come out. Ten of Swords reversed. We also have Eight of Wands here. I'm going to take that as your next card. It had Five of Pentacles in reverse behind it. We'll keep that just in case there's messages there. Okay, this one really wanted to come out. The Hanged Man. One more card. There we go. The King of Wands in reverse. Okay, Scorpio, here we go. The Knight of Wands. Look at this desert contrast here, right? We have this woman looking off in this direction in the desert, and we have this knight facing in this direction in the desert. The knight is covered, you know. You also cannot see this woman's face. I think this may be potentially someone in your life. I don't know that the Knight of Wands is you, but I do think it's an individual in your life. Possibly someone who's very passionate, very creative. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse here, clarifying this. Very passionate, very creative, but maybe not very good at making money. Sorry, I said it so bluntly. I'm just reading the energy as it's coming. I don't think this is you. But there are maybe some financial difficulties here, possibly related to this knight. How is this knight related to Scorpio? There. No, too many. Why is this knight here? That changes my perspective on the situation. The Four of Pentacles reversed came out. This has kind of changed my view on this a little bit by getting the Fool card, honestly. I was starting to think kind of this like romance, and there may be some of this here, because that was really my initial impression, and I do like to go with my first impression. I do think that that resonates with the most people. So my initial impression was this is a partner of some type who's very passionate, very creative, but whatever it is they're passionate and creative about isn't really bringing in money. So there may be some struggles in getting that person to be able to kind of pull their weight financially. That seems to be possibly the case for some people. Bringing in clarification on the Fool card, it could also be related to somebody who's started something new, started a new project, started a new endeavor, and you're, maybe this was agreed upon in advance and you're the one providing all of the financial support and backing for that, or providing the primary financial support for you as a couple. That could be the case, and it's maybe a little bit more difficult than you had anticipated, but it's a new beginning. That's another possibility here. That's another possibility. The third possibility is that this is actually you. The Fool is you, and you're looking towards starting a new beginning, but you just haven't started it yet. You're not feeling very fulfilled or inspired at work. You have this creative idea or passion that you'd really like to put your time and energy into. You have this vision for this new beginning for yourself, a way to kind of recreate your career, just kind of this new start for you, fresh start for you, something you're really energized by and really inspired. Maybe there is a Knight of Wands out there. It doesn't have to be male or female, just Knight of Wands energy, somebody who's very fired up and passionate about something, and they're inspiring you to do the same for yourself. If they're doing it, why can't you? That sort of thing. And there's just a little bit of fear around that. I think that this, in all cases, you would be pulling from a dry desert, right? Or dry well, I should say. Feeling like you're strapped financially is just exhausting. It's just always on your mind. And no matter how hard you work, you're always just dealing with this anxiety and fear about the future, when just that insecurity, that financial insecurity is always hanging over your head. And so I could see that pulling from a dry well energy here. Like, are you pouring into something that is an illusion? Maybe you need to take a step back, and that's in supporting, this person in the way that you're supporting them. Or is your fear an illusion? I mean, this is going like two different ways. This is two completely different readings, to be honest. Two different groups of people. So I'll try to keep it straight. But up here, we're in a partnership of some type. You're providing the financial support. There's a lot of difficulty in believing that pouring all of this money is going to, pay off someday. But I do think for some of you who are pouring into that, you're constantly pulling from limited resources, burning the candle at both ends. I think there needs to be some sort of kind of, I want to say come to Jesus moment, but you know what I mean by that phrase. It doesn't have to be a religious situation, but just kind of a, real honest discussion and conversation that it could be you're pouring good money after bad, and a real true assessment of what's happening there. And for some of you, this is actually a good new beginning for you. This looks like a fantastic new beginning. So if this is you and you're being inspired to follow this creative passion because you're feeling very uninspired in your current career or wherever you're making money, and this doesn't mean you have to leave the job. It could mean you start this on the side and just kind of get it going. I think there's some fear about it, but I do think the energy around that is, what you're doing is not fulfilling for you right now in any way. This is clear. So you need to try something new. You need to clear that up. And the new thing you need to do is to try that creative passion or have that difficult conversation. I picked up the deck and got the Two of Swords in reverse. So that always tells me you've got to start making a choice and make a decision on these paths that you're on. Go one way or the other, or the universe is going to choose it for you. That's what that card tells me. Okay, let's move to the Ten of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Swords is usually an ending. This is in reverse though, so it's like a stalled ending. Almost something that should have come to the end of a cycle, but is just like clinging and hanging on. The cycle hasn't closed out. It's clarified by Page of Cups, which is our love card. followed by the Three of Swords. Yep. So for some of you, this is a romantic partnership that's, you know, it's run its course. And it could be this relationship up here, and, you know, because this person isn't providing for themselves, it could be difficult severing yourself from them because you're not sure how they will take care of themselves without you, which, and it's kind of their responsibility. I mean, the compassion there is certainly admirable, though. But if this person is just draining you of money, it could also be that you're so tied to them financially that you're not ending the relationship because of this financial tie. But it's done, it's completed its cycle for some of you. And for some of you, this is the job that's uninspiring you. So a cycle's complete here that you're not completing. Many of you, this is in a romantic partnership of some type. But that's important. You'll need to work on trying to close out that cycle, because that will free up some of the energies here. That's just kind of an energy that's hanging out there and muddying things for you. It can be difficult to actually like take action on those sorts of things because they're not easy decisions, certainly. But I mean, this is not telling you to do it if you have not ever had that thought before. Okay, don't listen to tarot and say, oh, I'm supposed to leave my romantic partnership all of a sudden. Now, if you've had this thought, if you know this, if this resonates with you, then it's just confirming that energy. That's all. And the same for a job. Okay, I'm moving on. Sorry, too many cards come out here. But I've been moving on here mentally while I was finishing this up to this Eight of Wands energy. This is kind of the what needs intentional action from you. Interesting, we have an action card here, the action card, Eight of Wands. Behind it is the Five of Pentacles, also in reverse. I think this is reconfirming what I've already said here, what has come out here. There's some action that needs to be taken on your part to end some sort of partnership relationship. It's definitely tied to money, as you can see here of the Five of Pentacles. It's making somebody is feeling very down on themselves, whether it's you, the person you're in partnership with, and that things aren't going well financially is all I can say. I do think that you have more of a positive outlook than somebody on the other side of this partnership, and almost like you're the caretaker here. And so I do feel strongly that for most of you, this is more of a sense of obligation than out of anything else. But you are really strongly being guided to take action, to get yourself out of that situation and nourish yourself a little bit more. You need to make some true connections. I think you've distanced yourself from maybe close friendships, family, things like that, so caught up in this situation that you haven't taken the time to, reconnect with the people that really, really love you. Those are the people in your life that you don't have to fight for their love, their trust. They don't have to flat out be telling you, I love you, and covering you in gifts constantly. Just being in their presence is comforting to you. You need to seek out those individuals, go have coffee with them, maybe spend a weekend away somewhere. If your family lives within a reasonable distance and you can get there without, making financial difficulties more difficult than they already are, I would really encourage you to go out and do that. The Two of Wands flipped over in reverse, but the Five of Wands is the real clarifying card here. I'm going to keep this Two of Wands here just in case we need it, in case it's got some message for us. But the card here for the Hanged Man is the Five of Swords. So the Hanged Man energy, we're talking about overcoming blocks or imbalances. Boy, that's a stalled kind of area, right? This is all just consistently saying the same information. I don't think I'm going to give you any new information here. This is very, very focused. This reading is very focused on you taking action on something. It's just really confirming that even mentally, you're kind of stalled in this circumstance, in this situation. Like I said, if you don't make that decision, the universe is going to make that choice for you. So, and generally, The way I see it is when the universe is making that choice for you, it's a tower moment, and it is so much more difficult than if you can handle this. Think through it and kind of, you know, get the courage to kind of take that step in that direction. And this is not you that's generating any of this, by the way. Let's just be clear. You're this kind of compassionate party here who's really tied to something that's drawing all of this energy out of you. You've got this inner mental conflict around this situation. We've got this Two of Wands energy, difficult, another choice. We're talking about difficulties making the choice again. Yeah, this is all saying the same thing. There's just a lot of difficulties. You're really hung up on making this choice. So we know what needs to be done. Just our last card here in the reading. This is the center card and what you need to feel fulfilled. Okay? And this is King of Wands in reverse. And I think what you need to feel fulfilled, because this is a blockage card, in that area of that fire and creativity and things like passion, this is a very powerful energy. I think that this falls within you, right? What you need is to make all of these choices so you can become the King of Wands in your own life. Because you're pouring all of this energy elsewhere. Whatever this, for those of you who have this creative idea and this passion for something new, really, I think go for it, because that's what's calling you. That is what's calling you. I think this one, King of Wands, kind of in your spirit is twofold energy. It's blocked right now because of all of these other blockages, things that you should be, working towards clearing up. These are things that I'm not actually giving you new information. I'm just giving you confirmation of something that you already know. I think freeing yourself of whatever partnerships are really draining you is going to be a positive move in the new direction. I think for some of you, that's going to free up this passion, this creativity, this ability that you have in yourself. You'll be inspired again like you haven't been before. Just kind of this, like free a bird, free from its cage sort of thing, right? I think that's going to happen for some of you once you get past kind of that difficult hurdle moment. For others of you, this just taking away this energy of an individual who I think perceives themselves as a King of Wands, but is more a Knight of Wands energy, so much more immature and energy there. But this person views themselves as the King of Wands. And I do think that if that's, there are kind of two paths here, but if that's your path, I think freeing yourself of that individual is the key. Regardless, we've got freedom here in this reading. We'll ask for one final card. Is there any advice? A final card, any advice for Scorpio? This is the card that wanted to come. Oof. Top card. Nine of Swords in reverse, letting go of your anxieties and worries around this situation. This is coming out as confirmation because you're really energetically and spiritually supported in making this choice. Sometimes life does come with some of these difficult choices. These aren't fun readings to get. I'm guessing we won't have many viewers here. I do tend to do shadowy types of readings, I will say. But I do think that letting go is going to be the biggest benefit for you, is going to be in letting go, for sure. And, setting down your worries and anxieties in this situation, if you can. I think this ties back to finding those connections, those true connections. That's going to really kind of bolster your spirits, make you feel more yourself again, and give you that relief from any anxiety and worry that you have that this is not going to work out for you. I think you need to reconnect with people who love you, and that's really going to kind of confirm that you have the love and support that you need to make a difficult choice. Okay, I was going to say Pisces. Okay, Scorpio, thank you for joining today.